Dobry wieczór, my friends. I want to talk to you about to give you a few tips about the homeopathic approach of hemorrhoids. Well, in hemorrhoids we can have three big parts of causations. If you look at the problem from physiopathological terms, you find first of all a group that is due to portal hypertension in the liver. How does the patient feel this? The patient has a really full feeling and a feeling of tension in the abdomen. The second group is the vascular hypotonia of the blood vessels. And the third group is the autonomic reflective group. So we start first of all with the group of portal hypertension. And the first remedy we meet here is aloe. Now, aloe, how does aloe look like? Mostly it's a quite congestive person, looking congestive, plethoric. Too much sedentary life, aloe. Too much remedies, also, not only homeopathic, also allopathic remedies. Aloe also has a headache going from the frontal side, behind the eyes, in the direction of the cervical here, of the neck. And we know that aloe also has to do with lumbago and hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids of aloe, what is typical, better by cold application in aloe, and also they have the appearance of a group of raisins coming out the anus. That's typical for aloe. The second important remedy in the group of portal hypertension is aeschylus. Aeschylus also a quite congestive plethoric person. When he sits down in the sofa, quite relaxing, he has serious problems getting up. Why? Because he also has not only the hemorrhoids, but also a feeling of strong weakness in his back. He has to help himself to get out the sofa, like Hydrastis. Hydrastis also uses his arms to get up from the sofa like this. And that is very typical for aeschylus. In aeschylus we also have the kind of pain in the hypogastrium. The hemorrhoids in aeschylus are looking mostly purple. And especially hemorrhoids during menopauses, think of aeschylus. In aeschylus, we sometimes see the throbbing pain in aeschylus, or also the pain as if the anus was filled with very sharp, pointed sticks. This is all typical for aeschylus. The third remedy in the group of portal hypertension is podophyllum. Podophyllum, typically for podophyllum, pain in the liver, and he strikes the liver very hard. He rubs the liver. Pain in the liver extending to the back, podophyllum, and also the biliary diarrhea. The diarrhea from too much bile, with problem with the bile metabolism. And especially podophyllum, typical for podophyllum is the prolapsus. When you see prolapsus, also in a child, the first remedy you have to think of, rectal prolapse I mean, the first remedy you have to think of is podophyllum. Then, in case in portal hypertension there is a tendency to chronicity, when the hemorrhoids become chronic, we have to think of some minerals like ammonium carbonicum. Ammonium carbonicum, typical for ammonium carbonicum, wakes up at 4 a.m. with intense itching of the anus. Sometimes the itching is so intense that the patient cannot remain in bed and has to stand up. So a periodical 4 a.m. itching of the anus, very strong. Another remedy in portal hypertension is muriatic acid. Muriaticum acidum, we know, very, very sensitive hemorrhoids, better by warmth. Aloe better by cold, muriaticum acidum better by warm applications. Now, in which kind of constitutions do we see this portal hypertension. We see it especially in aurum constitutions, in lycopodium and sulfur constitutions. This is very important. This is very important, the terrain remedy. Aurum, sulfur, lycopodium. Why aurum? Aurum has to do with congestions everywhere. Every organ that has a strong vascularization is affected by aurum. Very important. Lycopodium because of the problems with the uric acid metabolism and oxalic acid metabolism, lithiasis problems in the gallbladder and so on, and sulfur. Of course, because there is an excess of oxalic acid and sulfur in the blood, because there is not enough oxygen in sulfur. There is the combustion of the remedies is not complete. Okay, so the second group now, we have the group of the vascular hypotonia, meaning that the muscular vessel is not strong enough. So capillary permeability and so on. Okay.